Your show got canceled, girl. Me, I increase ratings, me and my husband. Contrary to what the anybody want to believe, we all know who the queen and the king is of Love and Hip Hop franchise.
No, we don't. And if we did, it damn sure wouldn't be you in 3 earrings. Is y'all ready to talk about it? Let's juice.
Come on, Blaze.
It's the beef for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Voodoo Doll TV, back with a quick little juice or whatever the case may be. And girl, come on in here. We in here discussing Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This episode sent me to a loop, girl. Skip to the loop, my darling. Girl, when I tell you, watching Rashida put it on and make them wanna marry me. Fight the freedom fighter Yandy Luther the King was like watching paint dry in the sun. Girl, when I tell you battle of who's the corniest, this was so lame. The argument was lame. Even when I felt one of them had the other ones on the rope, they were so lame they couldn't even finish the task. Girl, it was just lame. Who got the most cheating husband? Who copying who? Who the queen of love and hip hop? And read none of y'all. How about that? Girl, this argument threw me down the hole. Do you hear me? We gonna discuss this final meetup, and I tell you what, I hope this is really the final one, because I don't want to keep going back and forth with this here. I really don't. I'm tired of both of these girls. I really am. Both of them are delusional. Other than this little ultimacation, we also got to discuss Chris Naive going down there with baby mama number 3 and them discussing her wanting to leave Atlanta simply because he only want to come through at 3 in the morning to drop off Zeke. Okay? Instead of picking up his child. Now, this is the thing. I don't think baby mama number 3 want to go nowhere. It's just all a tactic to get his attention. But again, Chris Naive cares more about his new relationship than his children. At least that's what it seems. But either way, we're going to discuss that. We also got to get into Sierra admitting that she was on that stuff. Just the pills. She said it was antidepressants and she was around there drinking red wine. And she's discussing almost leaving her marriage. Oh, I'm sorry. Her husband around there saying he want to leave her. Girl, y'all just got married yesterday. What you mean he want to leave you, Sierra? Girl, we gonna get into that. We gotta get into Jessica with the Yandy thing. It's a lot with all of these girls. This episode, like I said, sent me through a loop, and we gonna discuss it all. But I need you guys to do me a favor. First of all, like and subscribe to the video. And the channel. Did I say that right? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Dollhouse. You are a returning Dollar Dawn. Welcome back. You guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and like the video and drop down in the comments and leave your thoughts on the episode, because I am very curious on what you guys think about all these crazy situations. So y'all know what time it is. Grab your tings, your liquor, your earbud, your za. Let's get right on into this mess, girl. So now the episode opens up with Kendra and Yandy Mandela getting them feets done. Look like they ain't had their feet done in years or whatever. Basically, these girls are both going through hell and high water with their husbands, and they needed a shoulder to cry on. So they decided to just go ahead on and form this emotional support group right here. So either way, Kendra is telling Yandy that her and her husband is going through it because some girl had came to her, or at least sent her some receipts or some information about Jock being in New Orleans with another girl, and I believe it. But either way, Kendra threatened divorce again. Lord have mercy. But she feels some type of way because Jock done went down to the internet and told the internet, I'm tired of you threatening for the divorce. Go ahead on, file the papers. Now, Yandy Mandela going through hell her own self. She was like, oh my God, Kendra, this is horrible. And you know, I'm so glad we got this time to sit together and check on each other, because people would rather gossip than check on each other, you know? And I'm over here saying, girl, y'all look so bad. Especially you, Yandy, with this witness protection wig. You look so bad. Get out them people salon chairs. Let's move on. So now Scrappy goes visit the son that he had moved down to Atlanta that he hadn't seen since he moved him down there, right? They over there trying to do playtime or whatever with the kid, but Scrappy is trying to turn over a new leaf and be with the children and spend time with the baby, but he don't know how to do it without smashing the baby mama or whatever. So baby mama number 3 was like, hey Scrap, pick up your child. You know he is yours. He don't know you, but he is yours. But either way, you ain't come to the party. I threw him a 6-month birthday party. Y'all gotta stop. A 6-month birthday party? Girl, you look as slow as a box of rocks. But anyway, she was talking about him not coming to the party, and she felt like it was wrong because he was the father. Now, Scrap feels like, first of all, he was 6 months old. He ain't gonna remember if I was there or not, which is a horrible thing to say, nigga. I get it, Scrap had a show and he couldn't be there, but don't make them type of excuses for not being at milestones. Yes, a 6-month-old birthday party is stupid, but you still should have said something other than, I had somewhere to be and he ain't gonna remember. What kind of a fuck, man? Let's move on. So then Scrap tells her, listen, I would have came, but they had told me that you was around there dragging for me, telling everybody that I'm around there sleeping with you at 2, 3 in the morning or whatever the case may be. Now, I want to come around for the child, but if you going to keep telling the truth on me and exposing me to my new old lady, I might have to abandon you and this child. And if you think I wouldn't do it, call Erica and ask her. So baby mama number 3 looked up at him like, nigga, what did you say? I know you ain't in here playing with me in front of these cameras and these white folks. You know I don't play this. I didn't even want to be here for real, to be completely honest. And if I want to tell everybody that you over here munching on me at 3 in the morning, chewing and swallowing, that's what I'm going to do. And as a matter of fact, you over here playing with me, I feel like I would just want to move back to New York. I'm over it. And look at Scrap. First of all, bitch, don't play with me. You over here playing in front of these cameras. You know I don't put my hands on women, but I will emotionally abuse the hell out of you and make you feel like you ain't nothing. Don't ever get in front of these cameras and tell these people that you about to leave me and go to New York. I moved you and this baby down here so y'all can be close to me. No, I haven't seen y'all since you moved here, but that's not the point. You're closer. There was a problem. I solved it. What is the problem? What else do you want from me? Like, I'm tired of this. Don't be around here saying you're going to leave me and take my son away from me. I want to be around the corner and drive by and see him in the window. And she was like, Scrap, you know what? I haven't really even made my decision yet for real. But at this point in time, the way that you over here talking to me in front of my child, I might have to just think about it and go home and really think about what I want to do and where I want to be. Because you moved me down here. I didn't ask to come down here. So I might have to go back to New York. You know, hustle and bustle in the concrete jungle. Me and my child. So we'll come back to you and let you know how we feel. Let me go home and discuss it. And girl, that was the end of the scene. Let's move on. So now Jessica, Jasmine, Kirk, 3 earrings that is, and Rashida, put them on to make them want to marry me, all met up to go out to eat or to go have lunch or whatever to dish. Let me tell you something. Yandy might not have been far off about them bumping coochies. You not about to tell me this is something new. This meetup. And look at the way 3 earrings Adam's apple is fluctuating in this picture right here as he look at this girl Jasmine across the table. I ain't never seen 3 earrings look at Rashida like that. Never in my days. Something is going on around here. And we gonna get to the bottom of it. I said what I said. Anyways. So now they get to toasting it up and everything. Oh, yes, they toasted. And again, Rashida showed her hand when she said that they went on vacation and Jasmine was staying in the house. And we all seen how Kirk was just looking at her. So we already know what happened after she went to snoring. But neither here nor there. Jessica begins to tell Rashida what's been going on between her and Carly and her and Yandy. And before we get into it, may I say, Jessica looks drop dead gorgeous right here. This whole episode she did, but neither here nor there. Jessica gets to talking about what all went down between her and Carly. Now, according to Jessica, she says Carly is simply mad because she believes she was working with her ex. She said, but she hadn't worked with her ex, but all Carly had to do was really ask her, but she refused to do so. So they ended up getting into it or whatever. And then Jasmine jumped in and was like, oh yeah. And then me and her got into it. And I called her a wet coochie bee or whatever the case may be. Called her old, having dementia and all of that. She said, girl, and they almost had to carry Carly out the doggone restaurant. She was cutting up, face cracking and all. So then Jessica was like, Carly really needs help. She old. She an old woman messing with them little churn. She really needs to go seek help. She said, but by the way, I ended up getting into it with Yandy too. She was like, because Yandy is going around feeling like y'all is coaching Jasmine to lie on her and her husband. She said, and Yandy also said that you and Jasmine is over here bumping coochie. So I don't know what's true. And I'm just trying to see something. Can you answer that? And look at Rashida. Girl, bumping coochies. Girl, if we was doing that, so what? I'm saying, girl, it's a yes or no answer, girl. Is it or no? But then she ends up saying that they not. She said, but if they was, they will come out and say it. She said, but this is Yandy making up lies, and all Yandy do is make up one lie to cover up the other lie. And you know what? I somehow believe that. And look at 3 earrings. He can't even look across the table because he's so smitten at Jasmine. I don't care what nobody say. That nigga in love with Jasmine. Said what I said. Y'all believe that he stopped messing with Jasmine? You slow as a turtle too. Moving on. So nevertheless, Rashida ends up saying she's going to meet up with Yandy and confront her about the things she's been saying and the lies that she's been spreading. They both been lying on each other and they were never each other friends. But we'll get to it. Let's move on. So now Jessica goes to check up on Sierra to see how she's been doing. Because, you know, the last time people seen her, she was running around there slurring her words, almost about to pass out. She want to take the antidepressants and drink on that liquor. You can't do that, girl. Anyways, so Sierra starts to explain to Jessica how she's been down and out. She says she done had 4 miscarriages with this boy Zay in 5 months. That is impossible, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to say that part. At any rate, she goes on to say that after this last miscarriage, she just got up and went back to work. She hadn't taken time to think about anything, and she feel like it's taking a strain and a toll on her mentally, physically, emotionally, and that's typically what happens. Now, I'll say this. I feel bad for Sierra that she going through this, because according to Sierra, she over there scared about her marriage, and I said, girl, y'all just got married. What you mean? What you mean, girl? Ain't that nigga a dependent? Ain't you the address on his parole papers? He can't go nowhere, girl. Don't let that nigga threaten you. Are you insane? Girl, either way, she over there distressed and distraught because she don't know what's going down with her body or her marriage. My heart goes out to Sierra with her little lion tail self. It really does. And look at Jessica. Oh my God. Sierra, you need to just focus on you. Only you. Focus on yourself. These men don't understand anything about women and their bodies. You have to focus on you and yourself. Take time out, okay? And I'm saying, Lord, Jessica is a great friend, but not one when it comes to asking for relationship advice. She don't even like men for real. Girl, Jessica trying to get this girl to leave this nigga ASAP Rocky. You hear me? So Sierra got in the confessional and she did admit that she had realized that she was on the live and because she was drinking the liquor and taking the antidepressants, she was slurring her words and passing out and dozing off on live, and she didn't know how bad it was until it actually went down. Girl, the doctor tell you when you get them pills that you're not supposed to drink. And if the doctor don't tell you, it's on the bottle, Sierra. Now, I'm not saying Sierra lying about her whole storyline. Only thing I'm saying is she fabricates a lot. That's all I'm going to say. Take that information and do with it as you please. But anyway, Jessica over there talking about she want to focus on getting smashed. Oh, yeah. She want to be smashed and grabbed. That's what she said she putting all her focus on. But she did offer to bring, what's the girl named Sierra to I think she called it a death doula. It's for women who lose their babies. Like when you miscarry or whatever. It's a doula, I guess, who gonna connect you to the baby girl. I don't know what's going on. Jessica will have you anywhere, girl. But either way, she gonna invite my girl Sierra. Sierra said she gonna go. Girl, you a braver woman than me. Let's move on. So now Jock is headed to meet up with Scrap, Zane, the boy 24 hours, and 3 earrings because he's frustrated at the fact that Kendra is mad that he went on the social media place to tell everybody he tired of her saying she want a divorce to tell her to go ahead on and file the papers. I'm tired of both of y'all. Take us out the group chat for real, for real. So Jock goes to telling all the dudes about what's going on with him and Kendra, about how he love her, she the love of his life, but he tired of her hollering about divorce. And I ain't gonna lie, in Jock's defense, Kendra be hella wrong for hollering about a divorce every time she find that nigga cheating. Let him cheat in peace. You don't want no divorce. Stop putting the word out there like that's what you want. Don't nobody want to hear that. That's why he be cheating. Lies. But anyway, Jock was talking about how he done had enough of that. And yeah, he was wrong for going on social media. But he felt like, hell, you keep saying it on the show, I might as well go on Instagram and put my little stuff up there. You feel what I'm saying? I noticed the boy 24 Hours is amongst a bunch of cheaters talking about being fed up with being caught cheating. Now, I ain't heard no rumors about you cheating. And you don't look like the cheating type. But, you know, I have been surprised in the past. But my mama said birds of a feather flock together. So hopefully you just doing this scene for the show and you don't really hang out with these niggas. Because if you did and I was a betting woman, I would bet that you just about as a cheating ass nigga as the rest of these niggas. But 24 hours, you got 5 hours to come out here and explain yourself and set the record straight. Moving on. So Scrap was like, oh yeah, 24 hours, bruh. Your old lady had put me on blast and was over there telling my old lady in front of me about how my baby mama was saying we smashing. Now, yeah, it's true. But I'm looking at your old lady like, dang, I don't even know you. What you mean you over here stealing my business putting my business in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? And you know what? I'm with Chris Naive. I don't know you like that girl. Get your old lady, bro. Get her. You feel what I'm saying? But, you know, 24 hours is new to the game. Give him 8 hours to get home and get to his old lady and tell her to mind her business, Scrap. But Scrap did have good news. He wanted to invite all the guys to Puerto Rico. He said he going to Puerto Rico. He said he got a show out there and he want all the people to come out there to Puerto Rico. And I say, oh, that's nice. That's because niggas ain't got no passports. Gotcha. And not all niggas. I'm talking about certain niggas. You know, keep it local tease. But the guys said they were excited. They can't wait to go. 3 earrings trying to find a way to leave Rashida at home, but he know it ain't gonna happen. And you know, they just ready to get away from the drama and the stuff going on around there with them people. But I'm wondering, is this gonna be a guy's trip or is everybody going? Because you know what they say them dudes be doing when they go to the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. Okay, let's move on. So now in efforts to get the group changing faces back together, Carly had reached out to Sierra and told Sierra she wanted to check on her. Because you remember last time they was together, Sierra was over there about to pass out from being drunk and high as the cost of living or whatever. So she asked Sierra, she was like, girl, what is going on with you? She was like, last time I seen you, girl, you was about to fall out. You looked like a bobblehead, girl. You looked like them little, them little air things that be in front of the stove. Like, are you okay, girl? What's tea? And Sierra was like, I had been going through some stuff after having 5 miscarriages in 3 months. I had decided to try to go right back to work and I realized I couldn't do that. And then on top of that, I have my husband and he don't even never try to understand that this take a toll on my body. And I be trying to talk to him, but he don't understand English because he dropped out in the 2nd grade. And I stress and I don't be knowing what to do, but it's just so much coming on me at the same time. And I still gotta get up and go to work because I'm Sierra. I grew up as an ugly little girl off the west side of Atlanta. I done finally made it. I can't let the drugs and alcohol take me out. I can't do it. I need to save my marriage and my husband and my life. And Carly said, look at me. Look at me. I don't have on any makeup because I wanted you to see at least one of my real faces. I saw you looked it so bad. Last time I seen you, I gotta be real. Girl, Sierra, you looked it so bad the last time I seen you. You looked it so bad, I was scared, girl. I didn't know if I need to call 911 or the ambulance. You need help, girl. You need to heal. I need to heal. We need to heal together. Let's get the group back together. We can start with San Antonio. We can get back on the road and we can start this healing journey because this is more important than anything. We need to save our lives. And Sierra was like, for real? Don't lie to me, Carly. Everybody that ever come into my life lied to me. They tell me they love me, they make empty promises, and they lie to me. Do you really want to heal and go on tour, Carly? And Carly said, look at my face. This is face number 3. Love and hip hop haven't seen this face since 2018. I bought it out just for you. I want us both to heal. We can go on a journey. We can go on vacation. Where do you want to go? You want to scissor? You want to scissor under the moon, the stars, the sun? Where do you want to go? We can go. Because we is important, we is loved, and we is kind. I love you, Sierra. And Sierra was like, thank you, Carly. I love you so much. I was so scared to come over here because I thought you wanted to fight me. But to see us hugging right now is really a full circle moment. The album gonna be lit. Now, Carly hopped into the confessional to tell us that at first, she had planned for when Sierra to walk through the door, she was just going to hit her over the back of the head with a pot and then started running on her. She was like, but as Sierra was on the way, she had a change of heart and she realized that it's more beneficial for, instead of them fighting, to just get the group back together and get back on tour and put them hits back out there and start singing them old nostalgic hits from Changing Faces. So, my girl Carly said she had a full circle moment. She in the healing process trying to heal. And she don't mind healing with her friend. And I like that for Carly, girl. Let's move on. So now Jock and Kendra meet up for why? I don't know. I guess they want to talk about how Kendra feels some type of way about Jock going on Instagram saying he tired of her saying she want a divorce. Girl, I swear I want out of this group chat. But let's get into it. So Kendra confronts Jock about the fact that he went to Instagram and she feels some type of way about about him going to Instagram about their marriage, because according to her, their marriage don't belong on social media. Girl, do you not see the platform that you on? Heifer, your marriage been on social media since you walked down the aisle, since he met you in the altar with your white dress. Are you insane? See, this is what I be talking about. People be delusional. But either way, Jock feel like, you know what? I was wrong. I probably shouldn't have went to the ground. But at the end of the day, girl, every time we get into it, you get the going off talking about you want a divorce. He said, then you be pulling that lawyer stuff out on me, acting all lawyer stuff and all of that Matlock tease and whatnot. But you don't never do it to defend me. Like, if you really love me like you say you do, why you don't be a lawyer to defend me? Why it's always got to be a lawyer to convict me? You seen pictures? Nope. So if you ain't seen no pictures, it didn't happen. I said, shit. And Kendra was like, Jaceel, you are so selfish, Jaceel. I'm so tired of this. Yes, I should not throw out the divorce word. No, I never filed the papers. I was just playing with you because you don't read. She was like, but at the end of the day, Jaceel, I have gone through hell in this marriage. I have a right to just, vent and go off sometimes. But Jock was like, no, you don't. Not like that. You can't keep telling me you want a divorce. Girl, you know I don't know how to read. You put some papers in front of me. I don't know what you done put down on them papers. I get scared. I get nervous. I start hyperventilating. When you say divorce, I get scared. Where else I'ma go? Who I'ma live with, Kendra? And Kendra was like, you know what, Jock? It's not my problem. But I just be playing when I tell you I want a divorce. But here you go on your stuff again. But I guess we gonna agree to disagree and go our separate ways, Jock. I don't want a divorce. I love you. I really want you to change. And Jock was like, you know what, Kendra? I'm out. I'ma just go ahead on, go my way. You go your way. And Cool Mo D went out the front door and Jock went out the back, girl. Let's move on. So now Jessica is with the doula and she's meeting up with Sierra and her husband. Now this is the lady who do the death doula. That's what she said it was. I didn't say it. This is what Jessica said. Now this the lady that's supposed to help her, I don't know, talk to the baby. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. So Sierra brought her slow husband there. That nigga be spaced out. Do you hear me? That nigga look like he just be everywhere but in the present. I don't know if this nigga live in an omniverse, if this nigga be in a 5D. I don't know, man. Something be off about this nigga. But anyway, Sierra got this nigga there. She's explaining to the lady about how she had all the miscarriages and how she's been going through the things that she's been going through. And she said that her biggest worry is that she's not going to get back to where she was mentally, emotionally. She said, and also her worry is her marriage and her relationship because it's bleeding over into that. And she want to make sure that she don't lose her husband. She just got this one. She normally keep him for about a year at least, you know? And look at her husband. Girl, y'all not about to tell me this dude got a 6th grade education, man. He don't look like he a bad person, but then again, maybe he is. He was in prison. But you know what I mean? I don't know. He just look a little slow. Sierra know how to pick him. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, Sierra shares her experience about how she love her husband and she want to have a baby and all of that, but she need to heal her marriage. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Sierra, she started going into stuff about things and him not listening. I said, girl, you need a therapist, not a doula lady. But anyway, the doula lady offers this exercise that intrigued the hell out of me. So apparently, she had Jessica massaging Sierra's midsection, the area where we have our fupas at. And she said this where all our emotions at. And if you massage it right there, it's gonna get our emotions in line and things of that nature. It's gonna ruffle them up and put them together or something. And I said, ooh, now I normally don't like to try stuff, but I want to try this. Okay, now as Jessica is massaging my girl Sierra, the doula lady is trying to explain to Sierra's husband that this is a human. And see, unlike dogs and cats and animals, when they lose a child, when a human lose a child, it emotionally affects them. Do you know what the word emotion means? And if so, can you spell it and use it in a complete sentence? And look at Sierra's husband. Can you repeat the question again? What's the word? Emotion. Emotion? No. I heard it. I heard people use it and say it. But I ain't never wrote it down before, so no, I don't know how to spell it, but I think. And so when Sierra heard him in the background not knowing how to spell emotion and not knowing what it mean, it brought tears to her eyes, but not the good ones, the bad ones, because she realized she was in a worse position than she thought. She said, not only can I not have a baby, it's probably not because of me, it's probably because of this nigga. He's slow as a turtle. And I said, there it goes. So once Jessica seen Sierra crying all uncontrollably, eyes watering and things of that nature, tears falling in her earlobes, Jessica decided to pick her up and hold her close to her. Now, one thing about Jessica, she's very emotional. She's very good at comforting people. She's just crazy. You know, shout out to Jessica. And Sierra's husband tried to come over there and comfort her, but when the lady asked him if he knew what comfort mean and could he use that in a sentence and spell it, he didn't know what that meant neither. So I guess the little segment went off with her just hugging on Jessica, girl. Let's move on. So now we get to the main event of the episode, and it is Yandy Luther the King versus Put It On 'Em, Make 'Em Wanna Marry Me. So apparently Yandy is sitting there waiting on Rashida to pull up because she wants to have a conversation about Rashida talking crazy about her, right? Now apparently Yandy had done waited a long time, but Rashida did finally pull up. She looked cute, shout out to Rashida, and they trying to look at each other and find out why we here. And I'm looking at both of them like, girl, get this road on the show and the show on the road. So now Yandy goes on to tell Rashida that she's here for Rashida to say everything she's been saying behind her back to her face. Now this starts the first of many countless stupid arguments. I'm telling you, this argument was so lame and so stupid. It was just like, why? And I'm sitting over here wondering, what is the outcome that we want to reach here? Do we want to figure out who's the corniest? Do we want to figure out who's the lamest? Do we want to figure out who husband cheats the most? Do we want to figure out who has a real husband and who don't? Do we want to figure out if anybody cares? I have so many questions about this whole ultimacation. Like, what are we supposed to get from this? So now Yandy wants to know why Rashida was on a podcast answering questions about her and basically saying that she wasn't married. And according to Rashida, she was like, cause girl, you not married. Duh, you said that. And mind you, this fight is deeper than them having cheating husbands. I realized after this episode, these heifers are fighting over who the queen of love and hip hop. And I want to be the first to say and read none of them is. But either way, this girl Rashida hollers, I'm really about to go back and forth with a girl who was on Love and Hip Hop on the phone without it being plugged in. And I had forgot about that. They was throwing some zingers though. So Yandy feels like Rashida is wrong because she shouldn't be answering questions about her on no podcast. That basically Rashida need to keep her and her husband name out their mouth. Girl, Yandy, in what world do we live in? Like seriously? What world do we live in? If they on a podcast or even if they doing their own lives, that's what y'all do on the show. So Yandy's whole thing is, if you gonna say something about me, don't go on a podcast and say it. You need to start saying it to my face. I'm sitting right in front of you. Tell me everything you need to say. And Rashida was like, girl, where do I start? You be lying. You a compulsive liar. You think you really into politics, girl, but the politics don't want you. Your husband don't want you. He ain't even your husband. He said, and basically you pressed. You pressed because me and mine's doing good and yours is not doing so well. So then Yandy was like, girl, whatever, you is pressed. And if I was on the podcast, I wouldn't be talking about you. I'd be talking about my stuff. But you pressed, you obsessed with me. You just want to be me. You just mad jealous of me because my husband cuter than yours and he ain't even my real husband. In this moment, I don't know what got over my girl Rashida, but she went crazy. Look at this.
Sit and talk about somebody else. What you been playing?
Girl, I seen Rashida do all of that slamming hands on the table, and I said, what in the Iyanla fix my life?
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Girl, Rashida, if you don't stop bamming your hand on them people table, girls, get out them people restaurant with all of that. Girl, y'all got to stop. So now both of them stood up and got the arguing back and forth. Apparently, I don't know how long Rashida had Yandy waiting, but Rashida was over there telling Yandy she should have made her wait 4 more hours. I said, God, Lee, I sure hope she wasn't waiting no 4 hours for no scene. Then Yandy went to telling Rashida that she's a runner, she's a track star. All she's gonna do is run. And Rashida told Yandy, girl, you need to go run and hop on a plane and get back to London and hop on that zig that you be bringing your assistant with so you can go hop on in the next bedroom or whatever. And look at Yandy, you have to stop, girl. You have to stop with the lies. So now they both get to calling each other liars, and I'll say that's probably the only time they both was telling the truth. But they both get to calling each other liars, and Yandy was saying that, like I said, Rashida was obsessed with her, and Rashida said, girl, obsessed with who? Rashida said, you fake, your clothes fake, your jewelry fake, your husband fake, your marriage fake. Everything about you is fake, girl. You just walking around just being fake. Then she said, you be mocking me. You take all my ideas. You copy everything that I do. She said all my businesses. And I started thinking about it. And I was like, oh, she's making a point here. So then they get to arguing about who owes who a thank you because who got who a job. And this is where it kind of gets crazy. So according to Yandy says if it were not for her, Rashida wouldn't have no job. So Rashida needs to thank her.
Excited.
Yo, low down running around talking about running there thinking he can have
gave you a job.
Okay,
You
okay,
have to
Jim
stop.
Jones.
You have to stop.
Okay, Jim Jones.
You have to stop.
Well,
Say
you
thank
ain't giving.
you.
I ain't gotta say thank you. This my house. This my city. This my franchise. Where?
Now let me step in right here. Now we get into the meat and potatoes of this whole situation. This is what this argument is about. It's about who gonna be the queen, who gonna say they the one in charge, who gonna say they the one who started this whole thing. And let me just say this, it don't matter who started it. None of these two ladies are the queen of love and hip hop. It don't matter where it started. Now, according to Yandy, Rashida owes her a thank you because if it were not for her, love and hip hop would not exist, meaning Rashida would not have a job. She'd be somewhere at the mall hollering, put it on them, make them want to marry me. Let's get into Yandy with some receipts on why she feel like if it wasn't for her, Rashida wouldn't have a job. Check it out.
Somebody say I won't be on the camera, I started.
How you do when you come to Harlem?
Oh, no doubt. You got to do it like that in Harlem. Because y'all come with the A game, so the BX is in here too. But now, how did you get with the show Love and Hip Hop?
Well, originally it started out as an idea I pitched to VH1 probably about 5 years ago. It was called Keeping Up with the Joneses, and it was solely based on Jim and his family life and all that he had going on. And that takes a lot of commitment, you know, and it was a lot going on with Jim's personal life with the artists he was working with, you know, Stack Bundles, murdered, Max B got locked up. So we couldn't really commit Jim the way we needed to. So I called Mona, and Mona was pitching this idea to another network. And we just joined forces, and she really made it happen. She brought her idea with the women behind the scenes and sprinkled Jim in there, and, you know, it worked. And that was my involvement at first, and that was last season. And then this season, I felt like there was missing a woman of my story, you know, that kind of grinded on her own and got here, you know, not necessarily because of a love interest, but just because I just work hard. Right. And I wanted to let that story be known as well.
The creation of Love and Hip Hop, I don't know if it was a creation as much as it was an evolution. The show started out as a show about Jim Jones, and Yandy Smith, who at the time was managing Jim. And prior to that, Yandy started out as my intern fresh out of college. And she was one of those people that you knew was going to do something with her life. She had the right attitude, she was smart, she was focused and driven, and as much as I put her through the ringer, the paces, she just did not care. She hung in there. After a certain point, it was time for her to go out into the world, and one of the clients that she picked up was Jim Jones. One of the projects that they had was a reality show about Jim. And they had sold the project to VH1 and had been in development with it for a couple of years. And they were really struggling with figuring out what the show was and how they were going to bring something or put something together that was going to work for the network. I'd met the network executive, Jim Ackerman, as I was navigating Hollywood, and we'd always stayed in touch. And when Yandy brought the project in, I reached out to Jim and told him that there was an opportunity that I would love to be involved in to help shape the project and bring it to life. At the time, Jim, you know, didn't really want to do a reality show. He was going through a lot in his life, and there were all of these female ensemble casts happening. You saw the Housewives of Atlanta and other cities that the Housewives franchise had grown into, and I knew from my years in the music industry that this world of being a woman in the hip-hop game, of dating the men in this world, was like nothing most people had ever experienced.
All right, those were Yandy's receipts, and let me just say this. I will always acknowledge the origins of these shows, because as we know, it's always one of us who start these shows and get these things kicked off. And I will acknowledge Yandy's part in starting the show, because if it were not for her idea with Jim and Chrissy, we would not be here. Now, if we're talking about origins of the show itself and the inception of it, yes, I think everybody who works under the umbrella of Love and Hip Hop owe you a thank you. Yes, but do I think that you are the tell-all, be-all of Love and Hip Hop? Absolutely not. Thank you for your service, though. Now, as it pertains to Rashida feels like, as it pertains to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, she is the queen of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I want to be the first to say, you's a put it on them, make them want to marry me. Head ass lie, girl. You's a lie.
Girl, I don't think you ever need to tell nobody you gave me no more job on Love and Hip Hop, because I came in and ate your ass up. Your show got canceled, girl. Me, I increased rating. We all know who the queen and the king is of Love and Hip Hop franchise.
Now, this is where I need to step in and interrupt the delusion right quick. Girl, what you mean you and your husband the king and queen of Love and Hip Hop franchise? Girl, of all of the couples that have come before you, during you, and after you, and ate you and your husband up, I know you ain't on here telling us that y'all the king and the queen. Now, I think what you doing is mistaking longevity for actual impact. Now, I'm not saying you in 3 earrings ain't leave no impact. We still talking about y'all. But at the end of the day, you in 3 earrings are not the king and queen of Love and Hip Hop. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all just not. You could think of so many couples. Hell, Jim Jones and Chrissy. Hell, Stevie J and Jocelyn. It's so many. Scrappy and all his baby mamas. Yeah, don't ever get up on this here internet and on this TV, people, and tell us no stuff like that, girl, when we was there. Rashida, go lay down. The point is this: if y'all are arguing about who the real king and queen of Love and Hip Hop is, I want to be the one to come in and diffuse the argument and tell y'all none of y'all is. How about that? I don't give a damn who started it, and I don't give a damn who was on it the longest. None of y'all the king and queen. Let's dead this situation right there. So now Yandy decides to pull out her receipts of 3 earrings cheating, and I'm thinking it's something new, and it's nothing but the old video of him in the jacuzzi with the women. And you know what this told me? None of them were never each other friends. That's why y'all don't even have enough tea to throw at each other on Mad Day. See, real friends on Mad Day, they have some real tea, some real behind-the-scenes teas to spill. Y'all don't even have that. And you know why? Because y'all were never friends. And we got to stop throwing that friend word around so loosely because y'all don't know what the definition of friend is. It's really getting disgusting at this point. But Yandy pulling up old receipts is right on time for Yandy. She just so lame, you know? So then it goes to who's the queen of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And Yandy tried to flex with a hat on that had an A on it. But the problem was when she went to flex on Rashida saying that she the queen of Atlanta and she ain't going nowhere because she got an A on her hat. It turns out the hat was an Angels hat. That's a baseball hat. Not even an Atlanta Braves hat. It ain't even the same right hat. And yeah, that's why Rashida got into the confessional and made you look stupid. And Rashida, you failed at doing that. This could have been the nail in this girl Yandy's coffin, but when 2 lames are arguing, they don't even know when to take the knockout. You see what I'm saying? So now they get to going back and forth about who got the worst husband. One of them husband was cheating on camera. The other one husband wasn't. The other one ain't even really the husband. It's just a back and forth of nonsense, girl. And basically my girl Rashida tells Yandy to go back to New York. And when Rashida said that, I said, man, I've been asking for y'all to get Yandy up out of here since she got here. I've been asking the great citizens of the boroughs of the New York City people to come and get Yandy Luther the King for how long? Rashida is asking now. It's 2 on 2 now. Come on now, y'all come get her now. But the argument ended up with them 2 parting ways, not finding any resolution. Apparently they gonna still drag for each other and we got nothing out of it. Only thing we got out of it is they are both losers. They are both married to loser husbands. They both think they smarter than they really are. And we want out of the group chat. How about that? And that was the end of the episode. What y'all think about this? Drop down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on all platforms, and I'll catch y'all hoes on the next one, girl. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.